Assalamu alaikum guys, my name is Mandak and welcome to my channel. What we're doing today actually is, over the last few years I've learned a lot of lessons. So I wanted to come on and kind of share a few tips that I've learned. Do what you want with this information. If it's beneficial, great. If it's not, adi. My intentions are just to share what I've learned. And it is what it is. If I'm looking down, it's because I literally have my phone here. The first lesson I learned is that happiness is not a destination. Wow. Crazy. You're not gonna be happy. Sorry to break it to you. Like, you're never gonna get there. Whatever happiness you're looking for, whatever book, whatever product, whatever's trying to sell you happiness, just know that they're lying to you. I always thought that once I finish school, maybe I'll be happy. Like, you guys have seen me in university. I thought I would be loving life after university. And I do. Like, alhamdulillah, life has been good. However, it wasn't once I finished that I was happy. It wasn't once I took my license exam that I was happy. It wasn't once I got my first big girl job that I was happy. I kept thinking that happiness will come once I get to a certain point. It wasn't. Like, it wasn't at the end of any of those things I was working towards. I thought once I started to see the world and do what makes me happy, I would be happy. And I realized that, yes, it brought me little moments of joy. However, it was also like, something was always manned. I just could not for the longest time make any sense of it. Like, I'm seeing some of the most beautiful sights. I wanted to go to Turkey so badly. I thought of those Cappadocia balloons where it'd be 10 out of 10 and I would love it and I would be so happy. And think of it, like, let me paint the scene. Let me paint the scene for you guys. The balloons. The baskets that you're in that goes up in the sky. Okay. You see the vision. You see, like, wow. Like, then the music starts in the background. It was amazing, but it didn't give me what I was looking for. And in everything I was looking for happiness. But not, what I learned is that happiness is a temporary feeling. So just like sadness, just like excitement, just like anger, all those are emotions and they're real. But those are not things we can control. They're not things there's not things that are long lasting. And usually they're things that are fleeting, right? So, because those are all fleeting things, it's not necessarily fair for me to put the expectation of a feeling of something I can't control. Happiness is a feeling. Love her. She's more than welcome to join whenever. But I'm not going to put that expectation of a feeling. I can't go into things expecting that I'm going to feel something because I don't control emotions. Like, how we feel is kind of dictated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I can't go in somewhere and thinking like, hey, I'm going to feel like this. I'm going to be the happiest when I do this. That's not true. That's not a fair expectation. And a lot of the times the disappointment comes from the expectations that are set. Being happy is no longer one of my goals. And as Muslims, like, we need to remember this is dunya. This is dirty dunya. The dunya is cute, but we're aiming big. We're aiming big in afterlife. Next lesson on this list is, drum roll please, go to where you are appreciated and not to where you are tolerated. Okay, hear me out with this one, okay? I am not the target audience in this environment. So, in the city I am, in the regions I live, like, I don't see a lot of people who look like me. I don't see it in my day-to-day. I don't see it in my environment. It's just, unless I go to, like, the masjid, or if I go hang out with my friends, or I make an active effort, it's not, when I step out, I don't see people who look like me. I was looking for a sense of validation from other people, and I never got it. I don't know about you. You could have a different story. I didn't feel validated. I didn't feel enough. I didn't feel like I was getting what I needed from where I was. That is what it is. That's my story. And oftentimes I internalize that, and I kind of try to fix it, and I try to kind of make sense of it. And what ended up happening for me was I became a bit more of a people pleaser. Okay. I decided, as I started to travel and I kind of like met different people from different backgrounds, from different parts of the world, I started to realize that it's not that I'm not enough. It's just where I'm at doesn't have an appreciation for what I have to offer. So if you live in a small town in like America, or like in a small little Tulu, small little village, and you feel like you're not really, you don't feel good enough, you don't feel smart enough, you don't feel bright enough, you don't feel like you don't just feel like enough. My recommendation, take it or leave it, is I started to feel better and I started to get an appreciation of myself through travel. So through meeting different people, through meeting different stories and hearing different things, I got an appreciation for myself and my story. If you are waiting for other people to tell you who you are and what you're worth, they will. They will tell you. It's just not, you're not gonna like it because it's not you. You know what I mean? You're the only person who can dictate your own value. You're the only person that can dictate your worth. And if you're constantly waiting for someone else to tell you that, then you're in for disappointment because we're all just freestyling and we're all figuring it out. And if you get into the wrong hands looking for that validation, you can get in serious trouble. You're looking for your worth in something that is external as opposed to looking for it internally. You know what I mean? For me, what that means is building a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It means building a relationship with my creator and figuring out who I am on my own. It's really daunting because it's like a scary thing to ask. And for me, as long as it aligns with like my morals and like my deen, and it aligns with like what I value and what I rate, then khalas, I'm good. I'm good. Number 3, okay? Closed mouths do not get fed. Let me say it again. I've been saying closed mouths don't get fed. Period. Closed mouths don't get fed. And guess what? We're starving. We're starving out here. Hear me out with this one. I'm a shy girlie. Believe it or not, I don't like asking. Wallahi, like, I would rather suffer. I'm trying to unlearn it. I would rather suffer than ask because asking is so embarrassing. It's also very scary because I don't like asking for things. We're scared, like we're chicken. We're bak, we're chicken. And that's costing you because you can get what you want. Let me tell you the wise words that my therapist said. You can have anything that you want. Wallahi. Anything you want is at your fingertips. We live in a generation where Amazon, okay, maybe not Amazon, maybe we shouldn't be using Amazon, but everything is at our fingertips. Think about it. Let me read you specifically what I wrote and then we'll go from there. I wrote, our fear of putting ourselves out there and fear of asking for what we want is holding us back. If you don't ask for the things you want, you're going to be put in a position that you have to that you're going to feel the need to accept what you're being offered when it doesn't really align with you, if you think about it. Because if deep down, I'll give you an example. If deep down, I want to go to Italy, maybe I want to go to Positano, right? A trip to Vancouver is not gonna do much because in my heart, I wanted to go to Positano. I want to go to Italy. Vancouver is nice, but it's not what I want, right? And it puts me in a position where I'm ungrateful for Vancouver, even though I love Vancouver. But the issue was never Vancouver. The issue was I wanted Italy. And I was too afraid to ask for Italy. And here's the thing with asking. It is the same amount of effort to figure things out on your own compared to asking for help. It is the same amount of work either way. Except one makes things harder for you and one makes things easier for you. And I don't know why we are constantly asking for harder things when we don't have to make things this difficult. We can ask for help. We can ask for support. We can lean on people. We can rely on people. I want better for us, girlies. I want better for us. I want us to get exactly what we want. And you know why? Let me tell you exactly why. Because we have the creator of the universe on our sides. Hear me out. And asking doesn't just apply to like real life, to work, to our friends, to family. It doesn't only apply to that. We have like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have God on our side, right? Everything you want is a dua away. Everything you want is a prayer away, okay? You can have anything you want. Anything. We're obviously thinking more akhirah, but a sprinkle of dunya will be nice too. You can have anything you want. Think of Fiji. Think of Bali. Like the creator, the one who created that created you. So the one who created the whole universe can give you what you want. You kind of have to like let shame go, because shame culture has no space. Shame culture, faith, fear, embarrassment, these are all three things that are holding you back from getting exactly what you want. I need to be better at asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for anything I want. I want a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a needy person. I want a lot. And it applies to work, it applies to degrees, it applies to relationships. You want it. I want it. You just need to open your mouth and ask for it, okay? I just need to open my mouth and ask for it, and inshallah we will be given. So ask. Tahajjud. Let me tell you about Tahajjud. She's that girl. Don't play with it. Don't play with Tahajjud. Don't play with Fridays. Don't play with Ramadan. Fi Ramadan. Don't play with it, okay? Oh my god, the next one's emotional. The next one has me in my feels, okay? You will get lost again, and then you'll be found. Let me tell you about 25. Because let me tell you about that quarter life crisis. I'm not gonna lie, that little crisis hit. That quarter life, no one tells you about that quarter life crisis is that, one, it comes out of nowhere. Two, it's not necessarily at 25 that it starts, or it's not even past, like it's not an age. It's just a season of questioning, is what I call it. Okay, let me read you what I wrote, because I feel like that's what's more important. I was so scared of turning 25 because, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me thought it was over. I thought I should have it all together by 25, to be honest. And I thought like this is the first time I'm a proper adult at 25. Like, you're not a kid anymore at 25. You're fully formed. Like, the frontal cortex is developed. The ageism is real. I thought life was over. I thought after 24 is downhill. I don't know about you guys, but I used to tell people, you round up to 30, do better. And now it's biting me in the ass. I thought by 25, I would have a degree, I would have my dream job, I would have traveled the world, and I would have been in the process of getting married. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know who created that for me. I just thought like, that's finally, like, that's all normal. That's where you should be at. And you go online, and you see someone just bought a house, someone just bought a car, someone's just getting engaged, someone just had a baby, someone just had a fancy wedding, someone's just traveling halfway across the world. Like, damn, do you guys not have bad days? The issue is, I'm lost. And when you're lost, you're kind of looking for a place to land your feet. And I was in a season, especially going into 25, I was in a season of, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what I want anymore, and I don't know how to figure it out. You're just supposed to know, but no one tells you how to know. You know what I mean? No one tells you how to get there. I've seen a few of my dreams kind of fall apart. A few of the things I wanted to do, the way I wanted them, I couldn't do them anymore. The nice part about being lost is you get to restart. I get to start over. Because now, alhamdulillah, I have my degree, I'm working, alhamdulillah, I'm a few years in. So like, what's next for me? And I get to sit there and decide, like, what do I want to do next? With therapy, I created new dreams. I created new goals. I'm in a much better headspace now. My quarter life crisis looked like moving to Saudi, and it was great. Yours might look differently, but with time, I started to feel a little less lost and appreciate the season of life I'm in, because I know that there's gonna come a time in my life that I look back and I wish I didn't take things for granted, and I appreciated what I had when I had them. Last lesson I've learned, and this is one that I'm still learning, is go touch grass. Please go touch grass. Please get offline. And I say this with love. During my quarter life crisis, I took a year off the internet. I stopped posting about my life, sort of. I started to film a second of every day for a year and a half. I noticed that I put so much effort and so much energy and worth in how many people view my story and how many people like my story, how many people. That was where I started to derive more worth from, which is crazy, because wallahi, like, I didn't think normal. I didn't even realize it until I stopped posting, where I was like, oh, I'm doing this thing, and like, no one knows it. I wanted to make sure my life was cute, postable. So much of what I did online was for a specific decided outcome, that if I didn't get my outcome, it would impact how I felt. And that's where I noticed that's actually a problem, because why is such temporary things controlling? Why is it impacting my emotion? And same thing. I'm seeing people's life and it feels like I know them, but I don't because I haven't spoken to that person in years. Or I haven't like messaged them in in months. But I know what you're doing day to day. So I feel like a bond, but there's no real bond. None of these people are people I talk to on a day to day. So why do I know so much about them? Why are they consuming so much headspace? For me, I found that constantly consuming other people's lives was affecting my ability to day experience things and have my own opinions, and also made me compare my life to theirs. It's kind of like I feel kind of embarrassed even saying that because it sounds so stupid. Like it sounds so dumb, and it's like because you know what you're seeing is probably there's a whole story behind it. I know looking online that people's lives aren't perfect, like you know that, but there's still that feeling of like, damn, my life doesn't look like that. It comes from like years of consuming other people's stories and other people's fairy tales and other people's like beautiful blessings, and that's beautiful for them. Allahumma barik, ma to increase their blessings. It's beautiful. I also know that my life has blessings too, and I don't necessarily want. Not only do I not want to show it, it's kind of something that I'm enjoying a lot more when I get to experience it on my own with the people I love. And there's a lot of life that has happened. There's a lot of life that happened offline. I traveled, like I mentioned. I moved. I realized I started to get appreciation for my little coffee dates, my little friend Linkos, my little sparks of joy throughout the day came from my IRL instead of looking for these big dopamine hits. It's just the contentment and like the confidence and like you just feel good. You know what I mean? And it's just because I'm doing things that align with what I want, and I'm also not posting it. Like no one's checking for me. No one's really knowing what I need. No one needs to know what I'm doing, and no one cares to know what I'm doing. And it's not that deep. Like, and another thing I noticed was I also like need my own opinions on things, and I realized a lot of my opinions were regurgitated tweets. I'm sorry, I know it sounds crazy, but the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. A lot of times it felt like I'm just regurgitating people's stories and people's tweets, and they're not mine. And that's weird. I'm not gonna lie, that's weird. And like my job on this planet is to respectfully just serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Life has been good. And life hasn't been good because of anything that's changed. It's just been good because I'm appreciating what I have. My life isn't perfect. My life is far from it. I'm far from perfect. I'm still chronically online. I just have more boundaries around it. That's the 5 things that I learned, you guys. I hope it made sense. I hope you learned. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope things get better.